This is the Grapple of Your Eye podcast, episode 3, The Great Gama. Hello and welcome to the Grapple of Your Eye podcast, episode 3, where we look at the Indian wrestling legend, The Great Gama. Gama came to national attention in 1895 when, at the age of 17 years old, he challenged the reigning 7-foot-tall Indian wrestling champion Rahim Baks Sultaniwala, who was a lot older than Gama. In fact, he was close to retiring, but many still expected the 7-foot giant to destroy the 5'7" youngster. But instead, following a 2-hour bloody battle, the match was declared a draw. By 1910, Gama had defeated all the prominent Indian wrestlers who faced him, except the champion, Rahim Baks Sultaniwala. Gama decided to test himself further, so along with his younger brother, Imran Bask, travelled to England to compete. Once in London, Gama issued a challenge that he could throw any 3 wrestlers in 30 minutes of any weight class. This announcement, however, was seen as a bluff by the wrestlers and their wrestling promoter R.B. Benjamin, so nobody responded. Gama then decided to target the wrestlers directly and targeted Stanislav Zbyszko and Frank Gotch, stating that he would beat them or pay them the prize money and go home. The first wrestler to take up his challenge was the American Benjamin Roller. In the bout, Gama pinned Roller in 1 minute 40 seconds the first time and in 9 minutes 10 seconds the other time. On the second day, he defeated 12 wrestlers and then gained entry to the official wrestling tournaments as he could no longer be ignored by the British wrestling establishment. On the 10th of September 1910, Gama finally got his match in London with recognised world champion Stanislav Zbyszko. The match would see the winner get £250 in prize money and the John Bull Wrestling World Championship belt. Within a minute, Zbyszko was taken down and remained in that position for most of the match. Zbyszko had brief moments where he would get up, but he just ended up back down in his previous position and wrestled defensively. After nearly 3 hours of grappling, the match was deemed a draw, although Zbyszko's lack of competitiveness angered many of the fans in attendance. A rematch was quickly announced, but the following week, and on the 17th of September 1910, Zbyszko failed to turn up for the match, and Gama was announced the winner and the John Bull Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, or Rustam Izamana. Zbyszko, though, remained the lineal champion of the world as he hadn't been defeated in the ring. Following his victory, Gama issued a challenge to the rest of the recognised world champions, including Taro Miyake, George Hackenschmidt and Frank Gotch. All allegedly declined the challenge. At one point, to face some competition, Gama offered to fight 20 English wrestlers one after the other. He announced that he would defeat all of them or pay out prize money, but still no one would take up his challenge. He eventually returned to India with his championship belt, though disappointed at the lack of competition he found in England. Upon his return to India, Gama went directly to clear up some unfinished business with Rahim Baks Sultaniwala. This time, Gama was successful, winning the Rustam-e-Hind, or the Lineal Championship of India. He would always refer to Sultaniwala as the toughest opponent he ever faced in the ring. Many victories followed, plus in 1922, during a visit to India, the Prince of Wales presented Gama with a silver mace. Then in January 1928, Gama finally got his rematch in Patiala, India with Zbyszko. He may have waited 18 years for it, but Gama wasted no time in overpowering Zbyszko and gaining the win in under a minute. Gama took 90 seconds to defeat Jesse Peterson in February 1929 in a match that turned out to be his last normal match. In the 1940s, he was invited by the Nizam of Hyderabad and defeated all his fighters. The Nizam then sent him to face the undefeated wrestler Balaram Hiraman Singh Yadav. After a grueling bout, the match was declared a draw. After the independence and partition of India in 1947, Gama moved to Pakistan. During the Hindu-Muslim riots that broke out at the time of the partition, the Muslim Gama saved hundreds of Hindus from mobs in Lahore. Gama officially retired in 1952 or 1955, depending on who you ask, but had not had a match for many years prior to that. He trained his nephew, Bolu Pahalwan, who was also successful, holding the Pakistan Wrestling Championship for close to 20 years. Sadly, Gama passed away on the 23rd of May 1960 in Lahore, Pakistan, after a period of illness. He was given land and a monthly pension by the government, who also supported his medical expenses until his death. It was revealed that Bruce Lee was also a massive fan and follower of the Great Gama and paid very close attention to his diet and training routine. Lee read articles about Gama and how he employed his exercises to build his legendary strength for wrestling, and Lee quickly incorporated them into his own routines and workouts. Gama's training routine became something of a legend. It began with him grappling 40 different wrestlers in his court or akhada. Once completed, he would go on to complete 5,000 squats at an average speed of 100 to 200 squats per minute. Gama would then move on to compete 3,000 push-ups, where he apparently averaged 50 to 100 push-ups per minute, depending on his mood. He also had a special diet which he designed himself to promote a healthy digestive system and strong muscle growth. This included 10 litres of milk, 1.5 pounds of desi chicken curry, half a litre of lassi, 6 pounds of butter, 3 buckets of fruit chat, 2 kilo pakore, 6 samosa, and a selection of fruit juices. So that was the legend of the Great Gama, who we have looked at in the Grapple of Your Eye podcast, episode 3. If you have a go at his diet and have some success, please let us know how it works for you. In the meantime, we'll be back with another episode soon. If you could, in the meantime, maybe give our episodes a like or a review on your podcast apps, that would be really appreciated. You can get us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you get podcasts from, really. Any ratings and reviews do help. Also, we are on Instagram and Facebook, and you can get everything you need from us at thegrappleofyoureye.com. I've been your host, Brett Summers, and we'll see you again next time.